Hello again, Honky Tonks. There's something really bothering me about that demonstration outside Downing Street last night. I can't just shake it off. It's in my gut, and I always trust my gut. If my gut and my head tell me something, I'll always go with my gut. Always. It's never let me down. Anyway, so I was talking to a friend of mine this morning, and she has a legal brain. She's in that profession. She has dealings with the police, etc., and courts, and she saw my live stream and she told me what I was thinking, and it confirmed it for me, because this is how the authorities and the police, this is how they operate. So you saw me last night telling you this is what they're going to do, and they did it. They boxed us in. Those boxes got smaller and smaller and smaller. Snatch squads then went in, pinpointed people and dragged them away. And it wasn't just the people who look like agitators. They were dragging away anyone. They were taking people away for nothing. Martin Daubney, he got arrested, then released, which was a weird one. Anyway, so when I was filming the live stream, my eye wasn't on my camera phone all the time. I was watching around me. I was looking at people. I'm a people watcher. I like to observe and I like to read. And what I read just didn't, it didn't make sense the way people were behaving. Now, I know there were people there who turned up because they're drawn to trouble and that's what they want. However, the authorities know this. Now, when I was in Ulster, I was involved in pretty serious riots, nothing like Downing Street, but I had Molotov cocktails shoved at me, petrol bombs, bricks, tyres, the lot. I remember one time I was in a shield squad, a tall shield squad, and we turned a corner, and on my right hand side all these people started throwing bricks on my right arm, and my right arm was just purple all over. It looked like a tattoo. It really hurt, but I didn't let it show. Anyway, I digress. What I know with my experience of rioting is both sides of agitators. You'll have people within the crowds weaving through, whispering into people's ears, suggesting, do this, do that. Go on, grab the barriers, shove the barriers, come over here, do this, get in that guy's face. It's what they do, but the authorities do exactly the same thing. And I know this because it was briefed to me in my Northern Ireland training. It was a week's briefings, demonstrations, lectures, etc., and how everything works up there, or did, still does, somehow, some way, I reckon. That shit didn't stop overnight over there, I'll tell you. So I was watching these people, and the people that were telling, well, some of them that were telling the crowd what to do, they didn't fit the bill of football fans and thugs. These were, you can tell them apart. There's a certain look they have, and they certainly had it when it comes to special branch, perhaps. And that's my theory. I reckon the authorities had special branch agitators within the protesters in order to make them look worse and paint a bad picture of the people who are concerned about what's happening in Britain today. There were genuine people there. I was concerned. I went not just to film, because I want the government to listen, and seeing how it went along, and I made a faux pas as well. I'll tell you about that later. The knife crimes, the machete sword fights, the problems that mass migration brings to the United Kingdom. Yes, there are benefits, but there are problems as well, and these problems need to be ironed out. They need to be addressed by the authorities and dealt with, because 3 little girls being stabbed is 3 little girls too many, in my opinion. Now, there were people at this march who were women. There were middle-aged women. Now, I said this to you at this morning's video. There were mothers. They weren't there to riot and be naughty. They were there because they have a natural empathy, women. They have this mythical empathy, don't they? They can sympathise and empathise. And they're there as a voice for grieved parents, mothers who've lost those kids. They're not there to be agitators. But even some of them, they were, I mean, one in particular just stood out, screaming and shouting and directing people, which made me think, whose side are you really on? You know? And then there's the organisers. I haven't got a clue who organised it. I'm getting loads of names shoved at me, from Lawrence Fox to others. And they didn't turn up. They just said, right, it's going to be this happening at Downing Street, be there. And some people did call for calm, but that was never going to happen, was it? It was never going to happen. I just knew it. These sort of things are magnets for all sorts of troublemakers. You know, football fans to professional agitators, from the authorities, from the police. And as for the police, to turn up so quickly. I mean, my mate said this on the phone and I completely agree. It didn't add up, it was too soon. Not every member of the Met Police is Riot trained, it's a fact. And yet they could just bring out these numbers, and there were loads of them in riot gear there and then to deal with this. It didn't happen in Leeds, did it? It didn't have these numbers in riot gear. They ran away, the police. They completely ran away. They left the rioters, the Muslims and the Roma, to their own devices to do what they wanted. And then my conspiracy head comes on, and I'm not a conspiracy guy, as you know. But to take the spotlight away from that, then maybe the riots in Southport and London last night were orchestrated, maybe, to take attention away from it. So who knows? Who bloody knows? But I'm telling you now, folks, from what I saw, my gut feeling and my experiences doing riots in my younger days as a young Fusilier Corporal Parry, some of these people just didn't fit the bill of football fans. They looked like coppers. They looked special branch. They weren't as rough and ready as the football fans and the protesters. They weren't. And they were like generals in a field of battle directing. And they were efficient. They knew what to say. They knew what to do, who to tell what to do. And that's what I was seeing when I was not looking at the camera. Yes, my camera phone was pointing at the riots, but I was looking at people as well. I was watching and I was observing. I'm not thick. I may look it, but I'm not. I'm not. And as for my faux pas, I was accosted by ITV News. Well, a guy I met on the tube says he was a fan of my channel. Fair enough. He saw me again as I was walking away and we thought it was all over. I said, oh look, ITV News want to interview people, you do it. I said, oh no, I don't know. I don't trust the media. And I'm always preaching to you guys, don't trust the media. And I allowed my arm to be twisted, and so I did this interview with a journalist, and my heart lifted a bit because I wasn't sure, because you know what the media like to twist, but the cameraman had a t-shirt that said, just use oil. And I thought he was one of us. So keep a lookout for my interview with ITV News. And I'll let you know if they twisted my words. I should have done what Tommy Robinson does and records it while they're filming it so you can know the full story. So who knows? If they take my interview out of context, if they clip things out, I'll fill you in on the details. If not, fair play. But I don't trust them, and I shouldn't trust them, and you shouldn't trust them either. Yeah, so there's that. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Please share, subscribe to my stuff, like. It screws up with the algorithm, which tries to cancel people like me. But at the moment I'm quite successful. And it's all down to you guys for sharing and doing your bit. So there we go, team effort. And that's that. I'm Paz49, thanks for watching. And until the next time, Roger Trout.